Needed that. Good morning, distinguished guests, family, and friends. On behalf of my late father, Captain Tom Hudner, my mother Georgia, and our entire family, I extend our very sincere appreciation to everyone here today for joining us for this momentous occasion. My father was a very humble and understated man, one who always deflected praise and attention. So when it was announced in 2012 that a United States Navy guided missile destroyer would be named for him, he was overwhelmed and he was grateful. To be here today, 6 years later, with this beautiful ship complete, joined by several thousand guests who have come together to celebrate its commissioning, my family and I share my dad's sentiments. We are overwhelmed and we are grateful. As most of you know, my father's Medal of Honor action involved his valiant attempt to save his downed wingman, Ensign Jesse Brown, who had been shot down at the area of the Chosin Reservoir in North Korea during a mission in support of U.S. Marines on the ground who were surrounded by Chinese and North Korean soldiers. Jesse Brown was the nation's first African-American naval aviator and a hero in his own right, who would overcome incredible adversity to earn his Navy wings. However, neither the extreme danger a rescue attempt represented nor the color of Jesse's skin were factors in Dad's decision to crash land and try to save Jesse. Jesse was a friend and squadron mate who needed help, so Dad went in. While many of us would say that was an extraordinary act, my father never thought of himself or that action as extraordinary. To the contrary, when he was asked through the years why he did it, he responded simply that it was the right thing to do. And if he hadn't done it, someone else would have. The ship's commanding officer, Captain Thomas Hudner, did feel that it was an extraordinary act. And when he recommended my father for the Congressional Medal of Honor, he wrote, quote, "There's been no finer act of unselfish heroism in military history." Now, as the men and women here today know as well as anyone, throughout military history, there have been countless incredible acts of unselfish heroism. In fact, the history of the United States has been built upon these acts, many of which went unseen and without recognition. But it was Captain Hudner's unselfish act in the service of his country, the United States Navy, and his friend and squadron mate that lives in the spirit of this ship. 3 days from now, December 4th, will mark 68 years since that action in North Korea. It will also mark 68 years since Jesse Brown's passing. Had he survived, he too would have surely continued to lead a life that was characterized by his own selfless service to his country, his family, and others whom he would have encountered and inspired. We remember Jesse today and every day, and we are honored to have so many members of Jesse's family with us here for this event. Their support and friendship means so much to our family, and I know that Dad and Jesse would be so pleased to know that the bond that they formed as friends and squadron mates more than 68 years ago continues through our families today. While we regret that my father did not live to witness today's event, we will be forever grateful that he was alive to see and participate in the evolution of the ship's development, from the naming ceremony here in Boston in 2012 to the christening last year in Bath, Maine. It was a thrill for him to have the opportunity to visit Bath Iron Works many times and to meet and to thank the men and women who were bringing his namesake ship to life, whose great skill and dedication carry on the legacy of Bath built is best built. Today we extend our deep gratitude to the Commissioning Committee, who have provided countless hours of work and an abundance of care over the past 4 years to plan and execute today's event and the activities leading up to it. Many of those men and women shared a personal friendship with my father, and I know that those bonds have infused and inspired their incredible efforts, and we are so grateful. We also thank all of our servicemen and women, active duty and retired, the countless men and women who have served in the armed forces throughout our country's history. And we pay special tribute to those who have made the ultimate sacrifice, those like Jesse Brown. We thank all of these men and women for their service, and we vow to never forget their sacrifices to protect our freedom and the freedom of others. A particular highlight for my father and for our entire family has been the connection he shared and that we share with the ship's crew. Under Commander Sherry's leadership, crew made personal connections with my father when he was alive, and as much as they were pleased to have the opportunity to meet with him, he was just as excited to spend time with them.